Bigfoot Sasquatch mystery coast to coast and continent to continent. It's the Bigfoot Field Guide radio show, presented by the Mid-America Bigfoot Research Center. Over the next hour, we'll discuss sightings, behavioral characteristics, useful equipment, and all that is Bigfoot. Pull up a chair and join the conversation. The Bigfoot Field Guide radio show is on the air.
Welcome, folks. I'm actually going to do this presentation by myself. This is basically a presentation on how to do your own video analysis. It's something that not a lot of people really get into. They tend to think of pair breakdown and thinker thunker. Now, I'll say right now, I am not a big fan of Thinker Thunker because he doesn't really do good video analysis. Sorry, my hair is not wanting to play right here. There we go. Anyway, so I'm going to get started. This is just a kind of a one-off program that we did. It's becoming proficient in your own video analysis. And most people really don't get involved in stuff like this, but we wanted to go ahead and see if I can get the next slide here. So my experience, I've been a network analyst for over 30 years. Since 1995, I've dealt with thousands of photos and videos using various software programs. I'm also the executive director of the Mid-America Bigfoot Research Center since 1998, when we actually started out as the Green Country Bigfoot Research Center here in Oklahoma. I've had multiple encounters with Bigfoot. I've got a good idea of what they actually look like in the wild, so that really aids me in my video analysis. So go to the next one here. Other video analyst, field polling with para breakdown. He is the only other video analyst out there that I'd recommend anyone going to. He does good work. I trust him. I mean, sometimes I don't agree with everything he says, but he's definitely one that uses some skepticism when he does his videos. Many others are just there for the clicks, or in the case of one in particular, just trying to stay in the limelight with wild tales of massacres. Skepticism. Now, you must have skepticism. If you go into video analysis without it, you're just going to look like an idiot when you come out with your analysis and say, hey, this is a Bigfoot or this is not a Bigfoot. Most of the time, if you don't use skepticism, you're going to come out and say it's a Bigfoot. 99% of the videos and pictures on social media is garbage and hoaxes. I mean, seriously, folks, if you've got great footage of a Bigfoot, why are you going to put it on Facebook? There is other avenues. If you go to for instance, the MABRC or the BFRO, they'll put it on their website where there'll be more ability to analyze it and everything else. Now, the numbers do not add up with all the claim sightings being put on podcasts, and I want to put together a little presentation on that eventually. Be skeptical of what you're looking at. Not everything is Bigfoot. Just because there's a branch broken on a tree does not mean that Bigfoot did it. If you can debunk a video, it only helps the Bigfoot community in the end. Go on to the next slide here. Now, other key markers. There's some known key markers to analysts that do good jobs on this that they look out for. Unfortunately, I can't go and reveal those in this video because hoaxers will use that to make their videos more convincing. So I apologize for that. If you want to talk to me personally, we can discuss it, but I don't want to throw this out there for the hoaxers to be able to use to make their videos better. The software that we're going to use is Snagit and Camtasia. They're made by the same company. They just have a few extra options. We're going to use Virtual Dub with the D-Shaker plugin. We're going to use Canovia. We're also going to use free YouTube downloader and free MP4 video converter. Now, these two free is misleading because if you use it as a free version, it will add a watermark to your video that you're trying to work with. I believe it's $19 a year for the license, and basically you buy the license for one, it works with the other. So $20 to use this, can't beat that. And we'll put links to all this down in the comment section of the video. We also will have it listed on the Bigfoot Field Guide.com website. It's definitely, let me see if we can throw that up here real quick so everybody will. So what we're going to do is we took a video off YouTube. Get over here to it. This is one that's been going around on TikTok and everything else. Apparently, it's been claimed from several different places, but this just so happened to be claimed to be in St. Elmo, Illinois, back in 2012. Supposedly, a four-wheeler was going through the snow, and this Bigfoot supposedly stood right there until they stopped to look at it, and then it decided to take off. Now, we decided to use it. The video is awful shaky. You can actually go and check out some of our other stuff that we've done as far as analysis. Now, one thing that we did do is we used the free YouTube downloader, and the way you can do it is you can either go up to the top bar of your YouTube window and copy the address there, or you can right mouse click on the video itself and copy the video URL. I will put all these slides to where people can access them and actually see them up close. So once you do that, like I said, YouTube downloader, while it's free, I would recommend purchasing the 1-year license. It's just a good little program. Now, I will admit they updated it and it's kind of buggy at times. You may have to restart it a couple of times to get it to download your video. Hopefully they'll get that fixed. Just don't want nobody complaining that I gave you bad information on a program. So basically, once you got the YouTube URL copied, you simply press the paste green button, this little button right here where the mouse is moving. That will automatically add it to your download here. So as you can see, I've got a different video that I added there. But once you do this, you will see a arrow right beside it, and you will click it and it will start the download. And once it gets done, of course, then you'll see a play button and a file folder button. Now you can click the file folder and it will open up the location of where it downloaded. which is usually, if you went by the defaults, my hair is still giving me headaches. Anyway, it usually by default puts it in your video folder, which you can access on your sidebar in Explorer. So once you do that, then we're going to need to open up the MP4 video converter. And you can actually drag the file over to it. It automatically opens it and everything else. So when you do that, you'll need to go to this little convert box and drop it down to say convert to AVI. And when you do that, matter of fact, let me just do this, folks. We need to go and make this bigger so everybody can see it. And I'll actually don't know if I can still continue to talk. There we go. So you can see convert to AVI. Once you do this, you go and you collect, you can, if I can get the box to, you'll go to where the little blue convert box is and click it. And it will take, depending on the size of the video and the quality, it can take up to 1 to 5 minutes. But when it's done, there you go. There's the little folder. You click on it and it'll actually let you go to the location where it saved it, which, as you can see right here, by default, it saved it to the videos directory. Now, we're going to open up VirtualDub. And to use VirtualDub for this, you're going to need to download a plugin known as DShaker. And it has 32-bit and 64-bit versions. So you got to know what type of Windows version you are running. And you can do this by going to the system command in your control panel. And it will tell you basically which version you have. Most computers nowadays is 64-bit. If you've got an older computer, then you really need to kind of consider whether you've got 32 or 64-bit. You will place the plugin of DShaker in the plugins folder of the VirtualDub folder. Now, what this does is when you download this, you'll basically just unzip it, say like on your desktop, and the entire program is in that folder. It's really, you got to pay attention where you download it and zip it to, because, or unzip it, because it will get confusing. So here we're using VirtualDub 64 because I'm using a Windows 64-bit operating system. So to start it, you click on VDub64EXE to start the program. Now, when you do, sometimes it'll come up and give you a warning message just because the AVI that we converted it to throws a little glitch in there. It's okay. Just click OK and move on. Now, to add the DShaker plugin to the VirtualDub program, you go to the video command up here on the top and drop it down and select filters. The filters dialog box appears and you'll click on the add button. Now, if you put the DShaker in the right folder, the plugin folder, it'll show up down here on the add filter. You'll want to highlight it and click OK. Now, this brings up the configuration page for the plugin. Do not change anything. I mean, the defaults are good enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure Pass 1 is highlighted and click OK. You'll then go up to the File drop-down menu right here, and you're going to select Run Video Analysis. This will actually run the program, and you'll see a bunch of little red arrows appear, and the dialog box shows you how far along it is. But when you see these red arrows, you know that the pass is working. So now, once the first pass is completed, you go back to filters, highlight deshaker, and select the configure button on the right hand side. When you do this, it brings up the configuration page again, but this time you're going to select pass 2 and click OK. You're going to go back to the file drop down menu and select run video analysis pass again. Once you do this, you can actually save what you have by going to File and tell it to save segmented AVI. And basically just click OK on the options that come up and save your video. Now you say, what does this do, DW? Well, here is a video. Let's see if we can get it to play. It'll take just a second to well, I'm trying to get it to play here. There we go. As you can see on this window right here, it is trying its best to keep the camera from being too shaky. And it tries to keep the object in the middle. This is called deshaking the program. Now this, I'll admit, this video here was so shaky that I was having a hard time getting it to work. So here you can see a little bit more. You can actually see the block of the screen as it tries to keep it on the figure. So now we're going to open up Canovia. This is software that a lot of athletes and their trainers use to prevent injury and increase your proficiency in sports. The thing that I love is it has the ability to magnify portions of the screen and slow down or speed up the video. I consider this a tremendous tool to use for Bigfoot research. And it's a free program. That's what's so great about it. The interface is straightforward. Just drag and drop the video file you just saved from VirtualDub into the program. And, you know, there we are. Controls that you need to be aware of is the magnifying glass right here. It's a little icon. Here's your scroll bar, and here's the speed control. Now, while I was doing this presentation, I discovered a little option on the magnifying glass that truthfully I never used before. So we're going to show you how to do the magnifying glass, but we're also going to show you how to do the direct zoom. I was very impressed with the direct zoom. So with the magnifying glass, you can click anywhere on the video and it will place a box. And let me switch over to that. It'll switch over to a box, and it's actually in red here, but it will show in white. I just put red on it so everybody can see better. You can actually see over here the white outline. So you can actually right mouse click on that box, and you can actually tell it that if you want to zoom 2x5 or 2x25 or just 2 times. Or you can go down here and do switch to direct zoom. Now when you do direct zoom, it takes the whole screen up. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. I really believe that this was an update to Canovia. That I used an updated copy here. So that's probably why I never used it before. So as you can tell, in this right here, this is 2.5 times magnification right here. And as you're playing the video, you can actually move this and keep it on the object that you're trying to look at. Now, when you switch to direct zoom, it puts it all in a big box, and you have to basically move it around a little bit, but it brings up a lot of detail. Now, your speed control by default, when I do a video analysis, I put this at 25% speed. A lot of people will be like, hey, I don't want to sit through 25%. Well, slow it down to 50%. But slow it down, because this allows you to see details at a slower speed. Now, the scroll slider button, I do love this because you can actually put it at certain points of your video so you can actually examine stuff more. It's a great little option. I love it. Now, Canovia, I did screen captures by using Snagit. Snagit will actually let you do video captures too. But Canovia actually has a screen capture of its own and video capture. You can see it down here in the red box. You can click these. It's just as good as using Snagit. I just use Snagit for a lot of other things. So Snagit does cost a little bit of money. I believe it was like $50 a year. Don't quote me on that. But now if you try to use Camtasia is going to be about $150. It's just got so many other options. Video capture of Canova in action. Like I said, you can move the first magnifier box and keep it on the subject for this demonstration. The next video is going to show you that. Of course, I had to pick the most heavily bouncing video to use, but usually the videos that are bouncing like this are most probable to be hoaxes, because they're trying to keep you from seeing detail. So we go on to this video. Give it a second to load up here. As you can see, I'm trying to keep the box on the figure. So, it can be confusing. This next video did a little bit better on it. But I want to go ahead and go on to the screen captures. Here you can see I've captured basically screen captures of what I'm seeing here. So here's some more screen captures. Now, of course, this is what I've noticed with the help of Canova and the D-Shaper program. The figure has a code weather code on. You can see an A here. It's a code weather code. Now, you say, well, how can you tell it's a code? Well, look between the legs of this subject. You're going to see how cut off it is. It's straight all the way across. That's the bottom of the code. Also, B, you can see the straightness of the cuff. That's the cuff right there. A hoodie is worn under the coat. You can see this as the subject turns. It's a hoodie. And then the straightness of the pants. It's straight all the way down. If this was an actual animal, you would see the leg taper off at the bottom. Now, the next video, you can actually see the flap of cold weather coat is visible when see, this is the back of the cold weather coat. You can see where he turned. No fur on the arm. Coat arm is tight on the individual. And they also got cold weather mittens on the hands. And of course, you can see the hoodie of the coat here. You know, that's the hood. So based on my analysis, this video is 100% hoax. Of course, even without the analysis, key points are already out there that it was a hoax. Like I said, I can't reveal those on the public video, but, you know, if you want to talk to me about it, we'll see if I can maybe relay those to you. The screen capture programs, of course, Snagit, like I said, is cheaper of the two. It's the interface that you use. It's a button that you hit. You can do video capture. You can do picture capture. You can do region, window. It's a great little program. Camtasia, of course, it has tons more capability. It actually allows you to do video on a grander scale and do more with windows and stuff like that. So then, I want to thank you for watching this presentation. I know it's probably a little boring. I should have the links up on the Bigfoot Field Guide homepage. And let me share that with everybody again. There's the location. And let me go ahead and remove this. Get us back over here to our page that we use. Overall, if you follow a lot of this, you will be able to do your own video analysis. And of course, like I said, skepticism is the main thing that you need to worry about. Without it, it's just, you can't say everything is Bigfoot. If you go out, say ghost hunting, and something happens every time you go out, you're not doing it right. Ghosts can't be everywhere. You can't capture evidence every time you go out. Same thing for Bigfoot. I can go out for a year solid and no activity at all, just because I'm not in the right place at the right time that the Bigfoot are. So, and then I can go out, you know, 2 or 3 times in a row and hit it right on the button and be in the same spot they are. So, but just remember this little mention right here. Let me play it. Carl Sagan says, I believe that the extraordinary should be pursued, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So if somebody says, hey, I want you to do video analysis, and you come back and they don't agree with what you're saying, hey, for them to make some of the extraordinary claims that are being done out there, you got to have airtight, solid evidence. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this little episode here. I appreciate you watching. Leave some comments if you want on our YouTube page. Just be aware, if you make real crappy comments, we will delete those just because there's no sense in it. We welcome comment suggestions and even stuff that you suggest would make the show better. So with that being said, I'll play the outro here, and we'll close this out. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
You've been listening to the Bigfoot Field Guide radio show, presented by the Mid-America Bigfoot Research Center, where researchers think outside the box. Available for download on iTunes and from mid-americabigfoot.com. Thanks for listening, and remember, the next time you're in the woods alone, maybe you're not.